Firefighters give everything to their communities. At firehousefurniture.com, we make furniture worthy of that sacrifice. Durable, comfortable, built to last. firehousefurniture.com.
Don't worry, there's no cameras on for this.
Oh, 40 on.
Hey, welcome. I've got Jon from Rescue One CBD on with me today, and we kind of wanted to talk about all things the Firefighter Nation portion of FDIC. And Jon, you were a big part of that last year, so thanks for coming on with me again today.
Thank you. And thank you for having me last year, too. It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. It was our first year doing the wellness stage, and it was a year of learning and trial and error, but I think we actually pulled it off really well, considering the fact that it was the first time ever. It was a bit of a wild card, but we did it.
Yeah. And there was a few of those presentations that drew quite an audience. Shameless plug, ours was definitely the biggest one.
Ours was definitely the biggest. Turns out a lot of people want to know about medical marijuana. Not a shock though.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that session again this year. What did I just tell you? Friday,
3:20 to 4 p.m.
There we go. We'll be there. We'll be talking about all things medical marijuana and CBD again.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Won't be handing out any samples though, so we're going to continue.
No, we won't. I'll hand out samples, but not of cannabis. So you guys just, you let me handle that part.
Also, I am expecting my own bottle of out of service for the FDIC week.
Naturally.
For when I finally do make it to bed.
Yeah, it's the topical pain reliever and the out of service are the most popular items for sure that whole week. No joke. And you haven't tried the new one, the Rips, for the daytime stuff. So like the Zyn alternative, there's no nicotine, but they get you fired up too. So little bit of both.
Big shock. I don't use Zyn. So
yeah, me neither.
I don't think we want me walking around with a pouch in my lip because I've moved to the South recently, so I will definitely fit in more, but not sure how that'll look when I go back to I don't know how that'll look when I go back to the DC area.
Yeah.
To dip in.
Yeah. No, maybe not.
Well, Jon, I'm going to put you on the spot. What was your favorite thing about the wellness stage last year? Just in terms of the vibe, presenters, any of that?
Right off the bat, my favorite thing was how many firsts there were. And I think that being a part of that was so cool because I saw people like Dr. Sarah Janke there talking about things like, the maternal phase for female firefighters and how that impacts, carrying children, like, some of the things we can do for that. Megan Loud's there, talking about all the nutrition stuff. The guys
in her bacon outfit.
Yeah. She's always really entertaining. The guys from the Tailboard Misfits podcast, I'm forgetting their names. I met them for a second. I follow them, but
Preston Lyons and Jon Vought, they'll be back this year.
Preston and Jon, yes. Loved their stuff. And like the just kind of raw nature of it where they're calling themselves out, talking about mistakes they made and having that forum where it's just, typically FDIC has these really, really heavy hitter, like big name presenters that everybody always loves, like they have the FDNY guys, they have the Chicago guys, and then they have like, tactics classes, and it's just mental health, physical health hasn't really been at the forefront, and it's like eking its way in there, which I absolutely love, but in a really cool way because I think that the way that it gets presented is palatable. Like, we're not going in there with the touchy feely stuff. We're not trying to like force feed people this crap that they don't want to hear. It's very real. And like as far as like how the conversation goes, it's just person to person, like firehouse table style chat. And the fact that it's happening on that stage at that level is really cool to me because typically you wouldn't see those things happen. And it reminded me of, God rest him, when Bobby Halton had that he had a two-parter on CBD and cannabis in the fire service on like the fire engineering podcast, where he had like big experts come in, like forensic experts and lawyers. And it blew me away because I was like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. And he, famously was not really a proponent of cannabis, I don't think, at least for himself, obviously. He was very stoic, but he put that out there. And I think in a way he's still kind of, passing that on through Chief Rhodes and yourself, which I think is badass. So for me, it was like that was a long answer, but for me, it was like seeing all the firsts and going like, this is really cool. It's alive and well, and it's still like kind of developing.
Something that didn't hit me last year, but hit me while planning this year, we're adding something at FDIC. It's called the HITS room. And it's like TED Talk style talks from a bunch of different people: Candace Ashby, Sarah Jenke, Bobby Eckert. Every main suspect is going to have their own mini session on that stage as well.
I love that.
And it really hit me that between that and between the Firefighter Nation wellness stage, where if you've never been to FDIC, it's set up, it's our little Oprah stage is what I like to call it. So it's live podcast style, four easy chairs and mics, and just hanging out, having conversation that can be audience driven as well. And what's really cool about that is for years and years, it was, you had your hot classes and you had your workshops, which are 4 hours. And then you had your traditional classes, an hour and 45 minutes. And by the end of the day, you're mentally maybe overloaded a little bit from just all the knowledge that you're trying to pack in. And it's really cool that we now at FDIC have these different a la carte options of, hey, you just went to a very tactically heavy or mentally heavy classroom session, and you were there for 2 hours. Well, cool. Now you can go in and listen to a TED Talk for about 20 minutes, let your brain recover, and learn in a completely different way. And I think it's really addressing all the different learning styles that there are out there. And I love that about our area.
I think so. And you said the TED Talk thing. It has that feeling because they're not super long, like I think the attention span has to kind of be tight, so that always I think was a big draw for people too. They can just like pop in, grab a seat, listen. They don't have to get bombarded, and then they can move on. And it's entertaining. You pick good people. If you've never heard Dr. Jenke give a presentation, like definitely swing by. He's good.
No, she's absolutely hilarious. She will be back this year again and talking about just different reproductive health issues and all that stuff. I know she's doing a sleep class, which will be, I'm going to see if I can sneak away and attend that. She'll be doing that in the main conference area. She's a genius nerd, so she's always got something new that she's teaching about, but she is one of the most entertaining instructors ever. So
really is. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I just got to meet her in person, you were there. It was at last year's. Yeah, she was at that stage. Like right after she got off stage, I met her for a minute, and then I ended up seeing her at Science to the Station.
I didn't make it out to Science to Station. It actually started on my official offboarding retirement date, which they apparently said I really had to be at that. So
yeah,
I don't know what was going to happen
Whatever.
if I didn't show up. Were they just not going to let me retire? I don't know, but I unfortunately missed Science to Station this year. Who else? Who else is going to be there? We're going to have, of course, the amazing godfather of it all, Jim Bernecca. He'll be back.
Awesome.
He'll be doing a peer panel with Beth Flaherty and Mike Wells, which will be pretty awesome. And then he and Nick, who just have their own amazing wellness conference. They'll have their own session. We're going to have Mike Goldstein will be there. He's from the Can Report. He's just
he's
really,
awesome.
really chill dude. Chris Scott will be there doing some stuff with him.
Very cool.
From the Dragon Den. Who else we got?
I really liked the setup in that spot. Like when you kind of go around, it's almost like you guys are it's like another cool kids club, like away from all the fire trucks, like it's typically typically, like, I think if you tried to like melt it into the rest of the conference, I think it would be too diluted to like draw in a good enough crowd. And I like that it's separate a little bit, because when people walk over there, you know, you're kind of saying like, I'm going to go check out all the wellness stuff, and it's all in one place. Crackle Magazine set up over there, which, you know, they have, Corey and those guys, like, I know they work with you a little bit. And I think like even just some of the screenings, like you guys, did you have that? You're doing the health screening again?
Yes. So
It's killer.
that is put on by Firefighter Cancer Support Network, and they do a really great job with it. They do a skin cancer screening.
It's
All
awesome.
our stuff, all the health related stuff is in one area. So you can kind of one-stop shop. You can listen to some great people. When we say wellness, I'm not talking about just, I feel like we categorize certain things into wellness in the fire service, like these traditional topics.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's toxic culture. There will be stuff on cancer that Firefighter Cancer Support Network will be doing, but then it'll also be guys like Mike Goldstein talking about toxic culture and organizational betrayal. You'll be talking about sleep, CBD, medical marijuana. We'll be having a peer team panel. It's everything that goes into staying a complete firefighter.
Right. But also, like, I think it's so cool because I have two chiefs going to this, and I don't
That's
really,
awesome.
yeah. And I don't really care about what new, you know, medical report writing software they're going to be purchasing, or what logistics software they're going to be purchasing, or what fire trucks they're looking at. I want them to come over to this side, you know, because if they come over to this side, they can see the other things that firefighters at ground level want to address. You know, toxic culture, like you said, is a plague in the fire service, and some of the people who go there, you know, you're preaching to the choir, and we always hear like the wrong people are here. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
all the people that are here aren't toxic. You know, like I want to bring the toxic guy here, but those are probably the people that won't show up. However, when you have leadership, even if they're not toxic leaders, those are especially the people you want going there, because those are your advocates for change. And when you want health policies changed, and when you want gear cleaning policies changed, or whatever, you have people there. You're going to go, come over here for 20 minutes and listen to this thing. Because it's like showcasing a new fire truck, where it's like, hey, how do we know which fire truck to buy? What's the new feature out there? What's going to be cheaper to get? Who can I make a deal with, or whatever else? And there's people out there that you can go talk to. Great. FDIC's always been really good for that. But now you have this other side of it where you can, I think a lot of times when we look at our health and wellness initiatives, we just look at the departments next to us. And if the department next to you happens to be really great at it, you're lucky. But that's not the case for, I think, most of the country. So we don't really have guidance. So this is probably the biggest spot in the country to do that in a concentrated area. Unless these people are just searching this information out. But I mean, not that they're bad at leadership, but you know, they're probably just not doing that for a million other reasons. They have a million other things on their plate. So I think that's a really cool thing to highlight, is the fact that this is like a showcase for those things, and for leaders from all around to kind of get, you know, their head out of the sand a little bit if they need it, or to just get resources if they're looking for them.
No, I love that you say that, because it's so rare that the right people end up hearing the message when it comes to toxicity and just different cultural issues. But even if those people don't make it into that spot, maybe the people who are right under them, who are trying to fix that problem, can hear a little bit of weaponry to arm themselves with as they go back to their department to change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's the right people that will show up, because I can imagine, well, I think we've all been in some sort of situation in our own department trying to change something, and we want to change it. The people who can change it won't, but we don't even have the right weaponry to change it. So to be able to show up somewhere and hear every rank from firefighter to researcher arming you with different tools is really great.
Yes, because it's never like, it's not, you never like hit a home run and everything changes. It's never like that. You don't have a silver bullet. It's like a million golden BB. You know what I mean? You just, when you go to this, you have to like go there and say, we're going to apply this pressure consistently until the thing we're trying to, move either moves or breaks, and when it's cancer research or, your maternity leave policy, understanding how to resolve PFAS issues, like you can't just present on it one time and then say, okay, the fire service has now changed as of 2026 because we did this thing. It's got to be there every year. The message has to be consistent. Unless people forget about it. I mean, it's I think firefighters also get disheartened because they search out a project, they go for it, put 110% effort, they try it for a year, maybe two, it doesn't change, and then they just get really burnt out. That should actually be a presentation as like, how to affect change and not to lose your shit. We can curse on this, right? We're good.
We can curse on this.
Okay.
I'll allow the one.
Yeah. Well,
Also,
that might've been two, but not on the stage. I don't do it on the stage.
I need to know, the death by a 1,000 golden BBs. Like, did you just come up with that? I'm going to trademark that. Change by massive amounts of pelting. That was.
Yeah. No, that's like a business, phrase I've heard like a million times from other people. Like, like winning things over is never like a silver bullet. It's like 1,000 golden BBs. Yeah, I would love to have taken credit for that one. I can't. I don't know who I heard that from, but
thank you for coming to John's TED Talk on change.
Yes, that's it. So yeah, that could be it. 1,000 golden BBs. There's the title. Ship
there
it.
You
go. Yeah, I think that would be good. Because I think it does take a lot of time and pressure, and it's never like just one big swing kind of thing. So it's having it every year and then having people present on things, maybe not the same way in a different way, but like, having those topics consistently is extremely important, same way we do fire training. Like, you gotta stick to the fundamentals.
You brought up the fact that we have our own little area, the stadium, which is, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite part of the entire conference. We've got our whole, it's connected by the tunnel, but we've got our own literally huge stadium to ourselves. Yeah. Something that I really like about the stage is when you get off stage as a presenter, you're right there in your audience versus if you're at the front of a really large classroom, people kind of have to maybe form a line to come up to talk to you. And it can be really unnerving for people to have these people from podcasts, names they recognize, and some people might be shy and might not want to go up and ask you questions. So to have you just plop right in the middle of your audience and have it be a completely unintimidating thing for people to say, hey, I have this question. It makes the speakers incredibly accessible for them to share their knowledge even more.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And I mean, there's a lot of times where, at FDIC, where just rubbing an elbow that one time sets you on a path for the rest of your career that can help you, or help change your department in a great way. So don't take those little interactions or those conversations for granted, because that's, they're like immeasurably powerful sometimes, and it's like you're only going to get as much change as you put yourself out there for. So, you go to these classes and you're like, hey, that's really cool. That's a good idea. And then you leave, you're only getting a portion of it. If you go up to that person and you bring them your challenges, maybe they've seen them before or they can help, so that is extremely important, I think.
It's funny because FDIC, you've got 37,000 plus people and you don't think of it as, oh, I'm going to go there and meet somebody and that's going to be the biggest impact on my career. And it actually is. I actually met you there for the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
Ever. That's where I met you in person. I think we had done a couple podcasts together, but we had never met in person.
Yeah.
Paul Conway, who's a big mentor of mine, met him there years ago for the first time. Yeah. It's funny because you go there and you take classes and you learn things, but you also meet people and form relationships and bonds that will have a dramatic effect on your career. And that's one of the coolest things.
It's everything. Yeah. Like I was saying that because I was speaking from experience, many times, you know, and, there's, this is my, when did it first go? 2021 was my first year. So this will be my 5th year, which is, I went once like, long time ago, like as a bagpiper, like to play and to just go around and take a couple classes, but as like actually participating in it, seeing it from this side, this is my 5th year in a row, which it's grown a lot, like in a cool way.
How did I not know that you played the bagpipes?
I thought I said no. Yeah. I've been playing for like 15 years.
How did I not know that?
Yeah. I am like a, classically trained bagpiper. Like I would take lessons from like guys that played in the Scottish World Championships.
Okay,
I
so
love
these
playing
are
the bagpipes.
this is something you shouldn't have told me. I'm gonna expect the bagpipes to make their way to FDIC. We're just gonna take a big
I don't
stadium
know.
sign to
Oh
you and
no,
send you through the halls.
nope. Because the problem is you know this, like the FDIC bagpipe, like they have like their own bagpipe contingency, right? So
Right.
it is so much work, and there's not that many firefighter bagpipers in the country, and
No, there's not.
we all kind of know each other, and
So are you
so
saying you'll get like jumped, you'll get beat up by a different bagpipe gang if you bring
no,
yours and you're not an official
they're
FDIC?
gonna drag me in there. Like when they come by the booth, they're
Gotcha.
like, "Dude, why aren't you playing?" You know, I'm like, "Cause I'm doing this, I'm working." You know, and they always the unfortunate thing is it's gotten smaller every year. There's like not that many. The newer generation doesn't really get excited about playing the bagpipes. But
There's an app
I
for
love them.
that. I mean, we don't even need the instruments anymore. You can just play it on your phone.
Sure. Yeah. I can assure you it sounds a little different. I'm, I'm passionate about it. I love playing, but yeah, it is that playing there it's work. Like those guys and girls have to, there's like 5 or 6 gigs throughout, you know, the 3 days. The problem with bagpipes is you got to tune. And
Right.
when you go from outside to inside, the frequency changes because like the humidity gets on your reeds, and then you got to tune again. So yeah, it's a ton. I would get sucked in like a black hole.
It's hard enough to find pictures of you to use for flyers and promos. So I've definitely never seen a picture of you playing bagpipes. So I'm gonna find a way to work this into something somehow.
Okay, yeah, it's funny because I usually keep them here. I was like, I'm at the shop right now. I usually keep them here because May is like, can you please not play those in the house? They're excruciatingly loud, and the dogs hate it.
Well, I'll get her to sneak them in or something for me. I will find a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Get Ed to put them in a suitcase. It's
yeah,
actually
yeah. I can bring
it's
them.
it's going to be really cool this year because it's the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So I know that the bagpipers are going to definitely be playing a big role in that.
Yeah,
Just looking forward to seeing what they come up with.
yeah.
Well, Jon, I just wanted to have you on here and talk about the stage a little bit and explain to people what our little end of the conference looks like and what to expect. So thanks for hopping on here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I am so excited. I can't wait to be there and see everybody again, and to get on the stage um and also meet with people after. It's the most fun part.
Grab a cup of coffee, come on over, expect to hang out and have some conversations because we have our own little party on that end of the FDIC conference. There's no adult supervision, they adults stay on the opposite end of the tunnel. It's a long
Yeah,
walk over.
yeah. I'll have my Cuban coffee this year, so maybe I'll like wheel some over for our thing and just put a like tray out.
Get with FDIC coffee or with FTC coffee and see if you can get them to give you some espresso to brand and make.
I'm sure they would. They're all about it.
They were out there with coffee last year. It was pretty cool.
Love it.
So, well, thank you, Jon, and I look forward to seeing you there.